O'Brien.
What's going on, everybody? This is Jacob Shoup. You're watching the Tom O'Brien Show. Hope you all have had a good day. Got a short week here. Definitely feels like it. We'll be off tomorrow, of course, for Good Friday. Taking a look at the SPY, trading up about 0.55%, 528.56. Get the composite, trading up about 0.12% at 16,326. The Dow Jones Industrial off nearly a percent here, fully a percent, trading off about 400 points. Russell futures to the upside a little bit, up 0.90. Listen, what is this options expiration? I don't know. Nothing this week has been great. Volume has been very low. About the highest volume we've had was that kind of sell-off, right, from that retest of that gap. And we're now cooking around, volume we had on Tuesday. Just not a ton going on with the holiday season. Of course, some more developments with territories that we've covered. You have the dollar still below 100 here, okay? So very weak. You have some larger firms that are now short the dollar, trading at 99.39, up about 0.12%. Crude oil roaring. I wish I stayed more into that gush position, but you're trading up 3.23%. In the gold contract, gold coming off just a little bit, trading off about 0.5% at 3,329. Copper up slightly. Silver off 1.61% at 32.45. Let's see what else we got cooking right now. Disney up a little bit. Lucid up. Very interesting, especially, considering more discussion on cutting funding for, renewables. That's trading up 3.03%. Listen, there is a play to be made here a little bit with Lucid. I don't think it's a like if you sat and actually did the math on it, it probably wouldn't be the best one. But what I think could happen, and we've seen it, is that this is starting to become like the contra Tesla play, right? And so Tesla has earnings next Tuesday. I don't see how that is going to be good for them. I still think the stock is very high price-wise. They're going to have a lot of issues with China. I do not believe that full self-driving, even if they're able to bring it out in June, will be profitable at all anytime soon. And I don't think the robots are going to be a thing for them. Now, Musk, of course, can say whatever he wants and say, we're going to make $10 trillion in revenue or whatever by 2030 with the robots. That might see some kind of short-term buying, but in reality, I think people are very nervous about equities right now, even retail to a certain extent. Keep in mind, all these insane kind of movements to the upside and then down and then up again and then down. It's just been retail getting vaporized in Tesla. So, I'm starting to think there is a once bitten, twice shy kind of thing. A lot of the large forums online that discuss things around earnings or different equities, which in the past were very pro-Tesla, are now no longer that. So, even on some positive news, you don't get as much of the talk online with Tesla. So you're trading off 0.63% at 240. Point being, if they have bad forward guidance, which I believe they probably will, you might see some money going into Lucid. Now, if it is bad forward guidance because of everything in the automotive sector, and Lucid has exposure to things overseas, then both obviously will get sold off there. Roku off about 0.44%. Not any real substantial movement whatsoever. Let's take a look at an equity that we got into yesterday, which is Energy Fuels. That is trading up 10.5% today on some pretty strong volume. Love to see that. What is this on? Well, it's what we've kind of been talking about, right? They were making deals with Chemours to build out rare earth element supply chain in the U.S. They were able to produce neodymium, praseodymium as well. Very important for things like motors. So they additionally come out with a big paper saying that they can fill the gap that will be left by not having a mineral deal with China. So they said they can do 6 of the 7 minerals, which is fine. Again, the major one that we really want is that neodymium, praseodymium alloy. Monazite concentrates, samarium, gadolinium, okay, right. I mean, these things are important, right? But it's the neodymium that's extremely important. I think the one that they're unable to extract will be gallium, and I'm not sure if anyone in the US extracts gallium. That is a very big thing that China has, and I'm not seeing it listed here, so I'm kind of going to assume that's what that is. But regardless, you're starting to get the news flowing in quite a bit of Energy Fuels potentially being able to fill that gap, and that is driving this 10.38% movement to the upside after we saw about a 6% movement, finishing at the end of the day yesterday, moved to the upside as well. I still like Energy Fuels. There, of course, is going to be a deal struck with, supposedly struck with Ukraine next Thursday. That could see some selling pressure, and I think that's kind of what you might be seeing in things like MP. Now, additionally, MP and USAR, just had massive, massive movement to the upside recently. Energy Fuels, didn't experience that over the same time period, but people caught on and are now funneling in to Energy Fuels as well. And additionally, USAR. So I'm not sure if these are getting kind of sold off on that news. What I would say is that even if you strike a deal with Ukraine, I think it's a lot harder to do business there than it would be just to build out in the US. And anyway, I think building out in the US will be kind of the goal. It's just far safer. So anyways, that's kind of what we got going on in that realm. Taking a look at Oklo right now, I still like Energy Fuels as well for uranium exposure, but that's longer term. Trading at 0.61%, seems like there really is some kind of push internally with Trump, with the Trump administration to start building out nuclear energy, okay? So let's take a look here. You had Chris Wright step down from Oklo's board in February, became the U.S. Secretary of Energy in the Trump administration. This is a very pro-nuclear kind of guy. Of course, you had some deals passed as well to put fixed but modular reactors on military bases. So he described the AI race as next Manhattan project, essentially said, we can build things with nuclear. We can actually fuel this new Manhattan project, right? So we'll see if some more stuff develops out of that. Looking at Oklo, I think they burn a lot of money and they don't have anything. You guys know how I feel about that, but the headlines can just push it. We saw that in October. Can push these equities sky high, and it's been holding well at this $20 level. Folks, stay there. We'll be right back with Tim Ward after the break.